Howdy folks, welcome back to Railroads Online. Today we're going to try to make it up to the wheat farm with some seed pallets. So we've got the Montezuma, this was our starting locomotive. And it's fairly fast, top speed of 22 miles per hour I believe, is the rating. And I've went and bought a couple boxcars to put the seed pallets in. And I went with the bright red just to kind of liven things up a little bit. And yeah, they look pretty neat. One thing is you can't get to the brake wheel unless you go up the ladder, but if you just walk up to that ladder, it pops you up to the top, and there's one on the other side there as well. Then you can reach the brake wheels. So let's go get loaded up. We've got the brakes off. I've just thrown all the switches. We should be ready to go. Old Monty's got a nice whistle on it. And the grade up to the wheat farm is about 2% ruling grade, so I think we can make it with the Montezuma with just 2 boxcars. We're about to find out. I don't know exactly how the loading works for boxcars. It's been a long time. I did have boxcars, I think, at some point, maybe season 1, where we completed all the industries. I forget if that was season 1 or season 2. But it's been a long time, so we'll see how this works. Pull up here to the platform. I don't think you have to open the doors. We might open the doors just for fun. Let's see, do I want to get probably lined up with the crane would be my guess. Let's just drop about right here. See if we can get this to work. So it has 40 out of 40. I don't think you have to pay for these. I think these are like logs and cordwood. You just grab them. Okay, so they do open up. Nice. And they've got a nice full interior. You can even see the iron bracing rods on the inside. And I think I saw on Steam or somewhere that if you haul wheat in these, it puts the plywood across, like the boards across. And that's how they shipped wheat in the early days. And even not so early days. I'm pretty sure my dad, when he was younger, he helped unload some of these cars. It would have been back in probably the 60s. And I remember him talking about they'd have like plywood almost up to the top. They'd have just enough gap there that a scrawny teenager could climb through. And then they would just start shoveling it out. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it says 00 because it doesn't know what kind of freight we're putting in there yet. Okay, so it'll hold 14 seed pallets. And it looks like it probably just stacks them in the bottom here. Drops them right through the roof. Perfect. That'll work for me. Oops. All right, we got a full head of steam. I'm going to get these cars loaded up, and then we'll head up the grade. We got a big old climb. It's a long one. I wish you could see track on the in-game map. We go down here towards the sawmill, and then we wind up. We go all over the place. It's quite the scenic route. But I will see you in a bit. And with the magic of editing, we're all full and ready to go. I think I'm going to leave the doors open just for the cool factor. It does look pretty nice. You can see all the cargo in there. So I believe we are routed out of here. That switch is right. That should get us headed out towards the sawmill and up the grade. So let's rock and roll. Monty's ready to go. Yeah, it's starting out pretty good. I wasn't sure how much of a pull this was going to be. We'll see if we can maintain our speed up the grade. Monty does pretty well at speed. Oh, I didn't throw that switch, but it'll auto throw. Okay, those are set right. I think we're good till we get to the wheat farm. We'll find out. Here we go. And what I should have done is drop a save. It did take a little while to get those loaded. I think I'll just kind of do a real-time video of driving out to the wheat farm, because it's pretty interesting journey, and I've actually never been out there yet on the track. So I don't know how long this video would be, just however long it takes us to get there, if we can even get there. But I think with just 2 boxcars, we should be okay. So there's the start of the grade. We're going to go up here and make a loop back across. We cross over that. And then here we start climbing. I think right in here is where we start the 2%. And we got the world's goofiest crossing over there on some trestle. I'm not proud of it, but you got to do what you got to do. Can I bring up the map? No, I can't bring up the map. I think we're going to be okay at speed through this corner. Had to make it a little tight. Yeah, we're doing all right. Let me pull over the Railroad Online extended map that actually has track on it. So we're coming through here. We got to wind up here. There's this goofy trestle crossing, and then we wind all the way up through the mountains. And then we get to the wheat farm. Now, I initially tried coming down through here, and I couldn't make it work without some really steep grades. There's lots of ways to get there, though. You might have done it differently. So we're just starting to climb up out of the swamp here. I tried to kind of follow the ground as much as I could, but this map just is not made for getting anywhere. Since we can't deform the terrain, it's going to be a lot more trestle than I like. So far, so good on the speed. And I tried coming over this track, and I couldn't get it to line up right and look good. I initially had it crossing over above this and then heading down into here, and it was just so much trestle. I went for this, and it's not terrible. Probably not realistic, but it's not terrible. I think right in here was like a little bitty stretch of like 3 or 4% just to get that to line up right. I initially turned and I crossed over here with a steel bridge, and that part looked okay, but then, you know, it's way up in the air and just nowhere to go without massive sky bridges. So I abandoned that approach. And so far, so good on the speed, so I think we're going to be okay. I still had to do a fair bit of sky bridge, especially right here, to make this turn. I tried to keep it, you know, somewhat plausible. I just hope none of the trees have reappeared, or we'll be in trouble. This part, not super happy with. There's just too much trestle, but with this rock sticking out, I couldn't really follow the land. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. It's a nice scenic route. It's not terribly implausible in most places. Doing okay on the speed. I'm just going to go ahead and close that. We can soak in the scenery. I don't know how many boxcars we can pull up here, but 2 seems to be doing just fine. We're maintaining top speed. Yeah, we're still at 22. Ooh, that tree's a little close. Might want to trim that one back. So far, so good. You can see I kind of tried to hug the mountain when I could, and then we used the big steel bridge quite a bit. Yeah, 22 miles an hour. This goes pretty quick. Not too shabby. I haven't been up here in a while since I laid this. See if I remember to get all the old track deleted, because I first started coming out into this valley here. And like I said, I just couldn't get that to work out the way I wanted it to. So I turned and came across here on a giant steel bridge. This, I think, Had I been, in hindsight, I probably could have come across here and hooked in, but this is what we have right now, and I may redo that. But I initially had headed across here, but you have to go off the map boundary, and it was just going to be too steep, and yeah, it just didn't work out. So I have this monstrosity. So I probably will redo this part at some point to come across that side of the mountain. Or at least attempt it and see what it looks like. But here we are. That wasn't too bad of a climb. We're almost there. This is the valley here where the wheat farm is. I'll show you what I got going on there. I think we're going to have to throw a switch. This actually went through a couple iterations as well. I built it out and I wasn't happy with it. So I redid it. Like the yard and stuff over here. Okay, we're almost off the grade. Once we get over to here, it's pretty flat. Start easing off the regulator. And here we are. We have arrived. And which way am I pointed up here? Pointed the wrong way. Alright, let's sprint ahead. Thanks to Railroads Online Extended. And throw that. And that should get us lined up. That pole. I had a telegraph office there, which I deleted, and it didn't delete the pole. And then we want to go into the siding here to drop off the seed. Here, while that's going, can I do delete all? There we go. Got that deleted. Come back. Let me in. Some brakes on to get slowed down. So I did just pretty standard, you know, the cut-off siding to drop off here, and there's a return loop. And there's an extra runaround siding on this side in case we need it. And that's pretty much it. Nice and simple. Oops, I went a little too far on that one, but we should be able to unload here. Just in case something goes wrong, let's drop a save real quick. And E to unload. This will hold 100 pallets. Got Mr. Rooster here. Right on cue. Good job. Put some extra corn in your bucket tonight. Wow, that unloads quick. Nice. I think all it needs is seed pallets up here. I don't know how long it takes to tick through those, though. Oh, it just went down to 12, so it's about that long. Answers that question. I guess it takes them 2 at a time. So let's unload that, and then we should be getting some output over here. Yep. I think we got a bale of straw. Yeah, 1 out of 40, so it piles the straw up here, and then we should have some seed here. It just says wheat farm. Then we got the grain in there. Okay, so we get 2 grain and 1 straw bale? No, there's 2. 1 grain, 1 straw bale per seed pallet. This guy is a terrible farmer. He takes a whole bag of seed and gets 2 grain. All right, there you go. It is starting to chug through those. All right, well, let's head on around, and I believe we should be able to put grain in here, so we'll see how that works. Of course, we won't have enough yet to fill them both up, I don't believe. Let's go see how much. I don't know if it fills with 14 grain or if it holds more, because it would technically be piled higher. Let's go find out. This is flat here, so let me put that on 10%, and we'll make sure we're lined up on the switches here. So we come around and we want to go, we want to go straight here and then we want to turn here. So I just added an extra runaround track here just in case we needed to do some switching up here. Or, leave some empties or whatever. Initially when I built this, I had it come through here, and then I had this started building a yard here, but I don't think it's really needed. If it is, we can always redo this part. This is what I've got right now. What do we need for straw bales? Probably the bulkhead flat, based on the little car. Yeah, so we need the bulkhead flats for the bales. Alrighty. At some point, we'll have to bring some empties up here. Get some straw. I could do some experimenting. I bet we could handle 4 boxcars of seeds up here. But I might try 2 and like some empty bulkheads for the straw. See how it goes. But at 22 miles an hour, it doesn't take long to get up here. I like it. I'm going to take a quick look at the built-in Wikipedia now. Or wiki. And we'll check out some top speeds. I think this is one of the faster locomotives. Which makes sense. Look at the size of the drivers. Okay, we're up to 7 grain now. There's a little pipe on the side here. I'm guessing that's how we fill it up. I'm paranoid, so I'm going to drop into the save. Yep, shoot spout. Oh, you son of a... I got the track a little too far, I think. Yeah, it throws the boards in. Alright, so we lost 1. Well, I might replace that magically. Oh, I can't see anything down here. There we go. Okay, so it holds less grain than seed bags. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. 12 metric tons of grain. I guess it's big chunks of grain, maybe. I don't like that loading system. It wastes material. I guess I could have got that track a little closer. So, yeah, I might have to redo that. Not a big fan of losing material on the ground like that. So how much we end up with? 8? Yeah, we had 8, and it's continuing to process through. So we should end up with, what, 28 total? Because it's I think it's a 1-to-1 conversion from the seed pallets. And this will hold to... Okay, so I will eventually be able to fill up both boxcars. And I'll see. I think I can edit this in... I edit that in the Railroad Online Extended? Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of Railroad Studio. I'll see if I can replace that one that fell out on the ground. We'll make it happen. One way or other. But I think that'll do it for this episode, folks. Thanks for hanging out on this trip to the wheat farm. And I'll catch you in the next episode. We may be headed back over to the coal mine and ironworks area with a port or 2. I brought some empties back, but there's still some loads of, I think, lumber over there that needs switched. So we may be taking the port or 2 over there with some more stuff and coming back with teleport. Get a switcher over there. Anywho, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Thanks as always for watching. And through the edge. Blah, blah.